So maybe you're in your 50s and you want to get back in some sort of good shape. I'm 57 and this is exactly how I do it. I'm going to walk you through today a lower body session using basic kit. We're going to use a leg extension machine, some dumbbells and a cable stack. That's it. Real basic, simple stuff. I think one of the things that we do is we overcomplicate it. We make it, you know, in order to get a result, it has to be some extreme, it has to be some full-on, I'm all in type program. It's just not the case. Let's strip it back. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it real. Okay, lower body day. Let's go. Okay, first up then, we're going to do a leg extension. And today I'm going to show a little bit more detail about why we do things and why we don't do certain things. Leg extensions, basic, good staple in anybody's program, works the quads. It does work the hamstrings and glutes as well. You can't isolate, you can't do a certain part of the body. Everything works to some degree. We can put a bit more focus on, which is what we're doing here. So the usual routine, we're going to start off with a really lightweight. Again, I keep the reps in that 8 to 12 range for legs. I don't want to be doing 12s or 15s or 20 reps. It just burns out. You get bored with it. You're just using up energy. I just want to warm the body up, warm the muscles up that we're going to use, and get the brain ready for what's about to come. That's all my goal is with the warm-up sets. That's it. On every exercise I ever do. They aren't working the muscles. They are just priming them, ready to go. Okay, let's get it done. Just note the tempo, nice and controlled. And in the last set, I'll explain why. Okay, that was a warm-up set. Reps, I don't know roughly what it was, roughly about the 10. I don't mind. So now, on this set 2, I'm looking for about 70%. This again is a guesstimate. And the idea is we're bridging the gap between coming into a gym cold and hitting the one set that we're trying to do. Because we're still aiming for that one set. Okay. Rest-wise, I think my rule of thumb is if you're able to talk, you're able to go again. You don't need these 3 or 4 minute rest periods. They tend to be, I'm going to grab my phone and start scrolling. They're not rest periods, they're scroll breaks. Okay, again, you know, I'm talking freely, I'm ready to go again. So we're looking for that range again. Okay, and on that set, I'm not trying to gas out. I'm not trying to burn those muscles to the nth. It's just that bridging gap between the one set that's about to come, which is next. So while I'm getting ready for this one, I want to explain really simply why we do the exercises like we do. Okay, the positive bit then, the power bit, the bit that everybody thinks that's the rep, you know, poof, kick it up, leave it go. The strongest part of the lift is the lowering part of any lift we do. The lowering part is the strongest. That's why for me, that's the slowest part. We're milking that bit. So I'm going to push it up with a bit of power, hold it there. If I can hold it there for a split second, it means I've got it there with the muscles, and then I control on the way down, because that's the strongest part of the whole lift. So everything else, that is geared up for me to control on the way down, because that's when we're at our strongest and we can do more work, if that makes sense. We can do more work on the lowering part. I could put on way too much weight that I can't move, but if somebody moved it up for me, I could hold it and control it down, because that is the strongest part. So that is the theory behind every lift we do. And by doing it this way, instead of just kicking 1, instead of 1 rep, I'm doing 1. And on the way down, I'm controlling it. So that's 2. So in effect, I'm doing 2 reps for every 1. That's what makes it efficient and effective. Okay, I'm going to switch on, get this 1 set done, using those principles, pushing to the absolute max I can do until I got nothing left. 1 set. This is going to be painful. It's going to be tough. But it's only 1 set, then we move on. Okay. I'm driving up under power. Little micro pause, controlling the way down. That's it. Nothing left. Nothing. There's no point in going again. There's no point in doing another set. You know, I've worked those now. The analogy I always use is you can put a nail in a bit of wood. You can tap away all day long with a little hammer. That wood nail isn't going in. Or you can change the hammer, hit that nail once, bang, it's in. It's in. There's no point in hitting it again to make sure it's in. It's in. And that's what I try and do on every set. Of course, you have days where you're great and you're full of energy and you're full and you slept well and you're hydrated and you can push further. And days when you can't. You know, life takes over. But the theory and the principles are the same. Okay, that's exercise 1 done. Quads, leg extensions. We're going to move over now and do a dumbbell RDL, and then we're going to do a cable sumo squat. So 2 glute exercises, glute and hamstring exercises to come. That's quads done. Okay then, moving on to glutes and hamstrings. Now, again, same principle. I'm going to start with a weight that's super light. Again, because it's a different muscle group now, so we want to get that warmed up again. So I'm going to kick off with, anyway, it doesn't matter. These are quite light. So a dumbbell RDL. And again, the principle is exactly the same. We slow on the way down, drive it up, but control on the way down. Rep-wise, I keep saying, I say to everybody, I don't care. I don't care. This is not the working set. These are just warming up. Can feel that stretch right down into the back of my legs. So we are warming up now. So that was 12 and a half. So I'm reluctant to tell you what we're doing because there's no need. There's no need. That's better. Okay, so now we're going to go to what for me is an intermediate weight. Again, same principle. We're just warming it up. Okay, just to demonstrate what people constitute as a rep, it's like drop it down, pull it up, 1, 2. You know, they're just missing out on the most important part, which is that lowering part. That's where the real work happens. That's where the magic happens. Okay, I'm going to pick a weight then. Turn the heating off. Okay, I'm going to pick a weight now, which I think is going to push me, get me into that sort of round about the 10 bracket. Again, who cares? It's more about the work. I would rather do 8 really good, strong, slow, controlled runs than aim for a number 12, 15 and do them sloppy and quick and not really hitting what we're trying to work. But I've done the number. It's not about the number. Okay. I'm going to put my straps on then, because we are lifting some chunky stuff. Again, I'll talk about these in a different video, but the basic one for me is showing how and why we do certain things. Can you see what we're doing? We're being efficient. We're not wasting sets. We're not wasting effort. We're not doing junk stuff. We're just doing enough and enough that gets us primed, but gives us gas to do the working set. It's all geared up for that working set, that one set. Everybody's opinions are different. This is mine. This has served me well. You know, like in your 50s, I'm 57, like I said. My goal is longevity. And I've trained like this for many, many years anyway, because I just bought into the idea of once we've done something, it's done. But the older I get, the more it's like we still train exactly the same as we did when we were 25. You know, there's no difference. People say, what's the difference? There isn't one. If you're 25 and you've got a bad knee, or if you're 55 and a bad knee, we work around the bad knee, you know. But I just believe that we need to recover well, so we don't eat into our reserves. We give the body just what it needs to get stronger, healthier, fitter, not more. We don't give it more. We give it what it needs. Okay, that's enough talking. So this is the one set. This is going to be tough. One thing I want you to take away, guys, a couple of things, but this is one of them. One set is what we're aiming for. One set done. That's your breath. That was that set. Done. Pushed to the max. I didn't have a lot left to give. And whenever there's a hip hinge, whenever there's a bend at the waist, you're always going to be mindful of lower backs, because that's again about longevity. Just protect that lower back at all costs. Okay, we're going to move on to the last exercise of the day. This is it. 3 exercises. That's it. Okay. Cable sumo squat I've put in today. Another simple exercise. Let's get it done. Okay. Next up, we've got cable sumo squats. Again, great for glutes and hamstrings. We've already warmed them up with the dumbbell exercise over there. So there ain't no point in doing extra sets. So I'm going to do one set to get the groove, to get the pattern of the exercise. That's all it is for. It's not warming up because we're already warmed up. Again, you see where we're going with efficiency. Why are we doing 4 sets? They're just junk. So one set to get the pattern, and then we're in with a one set. Okay. So the exercise is a sumo, so the feet are wide, sumo style. And we're going to be sitting back into that squat. The arms are just attachments. They don't do anything. They just hold on to the cable. And we're going to do that round about 8 to 12 range again. So you notice the tempo on the way down, we control. Okay, that was quite easy for me, quite light, so I know where I want to go. So like I said, the reason we're only doing one set, then the working set, because we're warmed up. We're fully warmed up doing the dumbbell RDLs, so there's no point doing an extra set. It's just wasted junk. It's just ticking a box that says, well, I did 3 sets of 12. I've got a real issue with 3 sets of 12. Who said 10 reps done with lots of intensity will outdo 12 reps every which way? Okay, so this is the last exercise of the day. This is the lower body session done. Done. This is it. This is all I do. This is all I would prescribe for people. This is it. Nothing else, nothing to hide, nothing to add. You know, this is it. Everybody's different. People want a bit more quad focus. We would do different order maybe, and for a bit of variety, but the essence is exactly this. Okay, last set then. Again, we're in that wide feet position, pointed out. Arms don't do anything. Slowing the way down. That is it. That is it. That is the session done. 3, 6, 8 sets in total. 8 sets in total. 3 sets leg extensions, 3 sets dumbbell RDLs, 2 sets of cable sumo squats. That's 8 in total. Now, if people say that's not enough, well, what is enough then? Do we do 28, 108 sets? Where do we stop? What's the number? There's only 2 numbers that we can think we can measure: is nil and 100%. You know, we put in 100% into those working sets. Is far better than guesstimating, well, it's about 70% on the working set. We left a bit in, so I'll do another set or another set or another. Where do you stop? Can you see where I'm going? Where do we stop? So we're busy. We're busy men, got stuff to do, families, work, travel, life. We've got to make these sessions efficient. This is the method I've found has worked for me for many, many years. So at 57, enables me to keep in good shape, still enjoying the training. It fits in with everything else I want to do. So go out there, follow this. If anybody wants any help, just drop me a message below and I'll get back to you. I'll draw you a plan up if that's what you need. But what I want you to take away is how simple we make it. No complications. There's no complicated rep structures or exercises. These are staples: a machine, dumbbells, and a cable. That's it. That's all we need. Okay, guys, whatever you want to see, if there's anything I haven't covered or anything specific, let me know. I'm really happy to come into my gym, do you a video specifically for what you need to get you training, to get you going again in your 50s. You're busy, but in your 50s, why can't we look good in our 50s? Why can't we feel good in our 50s? Get in the gym, guys. Until the next time, wherever that may be, whatever we may be doing, look after yourself. Take care.